Shares to start the week positive. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian Heise here, and welcome to another episode of Heise Says. Got my stein of coffee, and I thought we'd have a look at this article about shares, or a potential positive upswing for the stock market next week, and then we'll look at just the calendar ahead for next week of what financial information is being announced. Because, well, it's Sunday night. I hope you've all had a great weekend. We just came back from the Gold Coast. We had the family's Christmas lunch. We had it early, so everyone could get together. And the kids were absolutely spoiled. They were spoiled rotten. It was great. We did an interesting thing. We did a different thing with Secret Santa this year, where everyone has to buy their own present, and then you get a number, and if you don't like your present, you can swap it with someone else. So I thought I'd be really smart. I went out, because you got a $30 budget. I went out and got myself a silver coin. I wrapped it up really small, because no one would want the small present. But the problem is, my brother-in-law works on a mine, which also mines silver. So he was on his phone. He was the last one. He's the first one to go and the last one able to swap. He was on his phone, because I thought, yep, I've gotten all the way through. No one had taken my silver coin off me, because I picked my own present. Checked the silver price and said, I'll swap you for that. So my plan failed. I didn't get to keep my silver coin, guys. Next time. But we'll see. I mean, let me know in the comments, guys, what you do for Christmas with the extended family. Do you have a Secret Santa system like that? Do you use silver coins as a way of giving gifts? I'm trying to encourage the grandparents to actually do that because, well, for the children, give them a silver coin so they get to keep it. And, it's something that they'll hold, hopefully, for a long time, and it might have more value for them. We'll see. Let me know if you do a similar thing. I'm just a crazy nutter. So let's have a look at this article. Australian shares set for positive start. The Australian share market is expected to open positively on Monday, off the back of better than expected US job growth. Australia's share market is set for a positive start to the week, getting a bounce from strong US jobs data. It comes after a rally on Wall Street and European markets in response to stronger than expected American payroll numbers and falling unemployment. That reduced some of the worries about the US economy, and at the same time, there was a more positive comment out of the US government regarding progress on trade talks with China, AMP Capital's chief economist Shane Oliver said on Sunday. What this tells us is the market is just responding to assumption, to what they think is happening. I mean, the job data is great, but a big chunk of that from the US is from striking workers going back, and the majority of it is from the public sector. What does that tell you guys? So following the global lead, ASX 200 futures rose 35 points or 0.5%, pointing to a positive start to trade for the Australian share market on Monday. Investors will be looking closely at US-China trade negotiations ahead of a tariff hike scheduled for next Sunday. So this will be interesting to see what happens if the tariff hike goes through or not. The question is whether China and the US will reach an agreement before then, or whether the US will postpone those tariff hikes if the talks are still continuing, Dr. Oliver said. Looking further into the week, polls predict a Conservative victory in Thursday's UK election, with incumbent Prime Minister Boris Johnson hoping voters will back his plans for a soft Brexit. Back home, National Australia Bank latest business survey on Tuesday is set to show confidence edging down slightly for the month of October. It is a similar expectation for the Westpac Melbourne Institute's Consumer Sentiment Index due out on Wednesday. Last month it showed a bit of a rise, but was still fairly soft, and I suspect it will fall back a bit this month, Dr. Oliver said. Economic data has generally been pretty weak. We've seen slow economic growth, weak retail sales figures, talk of more interest rate cuts from the Reserve Bank. The dollar is sitting at 68.38 US cents. So let's jump over to trading economics, and this is the calendar of, well, releases and economic information that we've got coming up next week. On Tuesday, the 10th of December, we have the RBA Governor Philip Lowe's speech at 8 a.m. Then we have the NAB Business Confidence release, and the previous data was at level 2. The consensus is 0, and the forecast is 1. So we'll have to see how that goes. We've got the house price index year on year. Now, previous was negative 7.4, and the forecast is negative 5.4. So this will be interesting to see how it compares to everything we're getting from CoreLogic. The house price index, quarter of quarter, negative 0.7, forecast 0.6, consensus 0.2. So this is the data that's going on Wednesday, and I'll probably do a video listening to that speech. Maybe we'll do a live stream in the morning on the way to work. What do you reckon, guys? So Westpac on Wednesday, December 11th, we've got the Consumer Confidence Index, and the last data I had here, we can see, it was still below 100 and jumped up a little bit. We'll see how that goes. Previous was at 97. The forecast is at 95.8. So forecasting it to go down. We've got the consumer confidence change. Previous was up 4.5%, and the consensus is down 0.7. Forecast is down 1.7. So Thursday, we have the consumer inflation expectations, and it's previously at 4, and it's forecast to be at 4%. So we'll have to have a look at that. And we also have the RBA bulletin at 10:30 that day as well. So that is the economic data we have coming out next week. The Monday following that, we've got the manufacturing PMI from Combank, the services PMI flash from Combank, and the composite PMI from Combank. So those will also be interesting to see. They're all forecast to be, manufacturing is forecast to be up above 50, where it was previously at 49.9. Services is expected to be at 49, or forecast to be at 49.9. It was previously at 49.7. Composite is forecast to be at 50.1, where the previous was at 49.7. Then again, we have the RBA meeting minutes. We've got investment lending for homes in October. It's previously at 1.1. This is on Tuesday, December the 17th, and it's forecast to be at 0.6%. Home loans month on month. Previously, it was at 1.4%, and it's forecast to be at 0.9. On Wednesday, December the 18th, we have Westpac leading index month on month is expected to be negative 0.1, and it's forecast to be 0.1. And then Thursday, on December the 19th, here we have HIA new home sales month on month. It was previously at negative 0.5, and it is forecast to be at negative 1.3. We've got the employment change for November coming out, which was previously it was negative 19,000. It's forecast to be at 22,000. Full-time employment change is previously negative 10,000, and it's forecast to increase by 15,000. Part-time employment change was at negative 8.7 thousand, and it's forecast to increase by 7,000. The unemployment rate in November, which is now 5.3%, is forecast to be 5.2%. The participation rate, which was previously at 66%, is forecast to be at 66.1%. Now, in some ways, what is more important is the difference between forecast and what actually happens. So say if our unemployment rate actually goes up by 3.1 as opposed to the forecast of 5.2, the market is going to respond because people are going to make decisions based on these forecasts or make assumptions based on this. It'll be interesting to see how some of this data comes, particularly the employment changes, because hopefully you'll start to see some employment pick up in the Christmas period. We'll have to see. We'll see how the retail data is going. Anyway, guys, that is what's coming out next week and the week after. We'll have to have a look. I mean, here we've got the All Ordinaries. So we'll jump to the fully featured chart. Oops, interval is not applicable. Okay, but we can see here where it was going, where it's heading up. So we will see how it opens tomorrow. Any of you preparing for a swing up in the market? let us know in the comment what you're doing to plan for that. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I hope you've all had a great weekend. If you enjoy my content and want to help us produce more, I have a Patreon where you can make a small monthly donation. We have Amazon and eBay affiliate links where we receive a small commission every time you make a purchase. Doesn't cost you a cent. It's a great way for you to support your favorite creators online if you're using those services. We also have PayPal where you can make a direct donation. And thank you to the people who've recently made donations and wished me a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas right back to you all. And finally, we also have merch on the Heise Says blog, our very own pocket squares that we make, featuring by Stein. Take care, guys. Have a great night, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.